All right, here we are back again. So I figured while I was here, I may as well record a video about wedging and reconstituting clay. So again, this is sort of like basic techniques. This is really hard clay. You're going to see the camera jump and go out of focus a lot. And this one's going to be a bit more challenging to reconstitute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm taking it in layers. So I want a thin layer of the hardened clay. Then I'm going to take a layer of the soft clay. I'm going to slam those together. I'm going to grab my next thin layer here. Now I want to keep these pretty thin, like that's a pretty thick chunk. That being said, I can always slam it down. Soft stuff, hard stuff. Oops, that was way off. Soft stuff. Hard stuff. Oops, nope. That was a bad hit. Soft stuff. Hard stuff. Now, as you can see, I've kind of slammed all this together in layers. Now, one of the things we can do is we can take advantage of math, cut it, layer it up again, and double the number of layers. Hammer it down so that it's thinner, and repeat. So you can see all the different layers in here. Slam it together. All right, remember which orientation my layers are in. Pick it up. Cut it in half again. Oh yeah, that's the right orientation for all the layers. And we'll stagger it like that. Well, it's not a good hit. You can see if you hit it really good, it's kind of hard to even pull them apart. They've already combined really well. I'm going to cut this one again. This time I'm going to do it in a different orientation. I'm going to do it lengthways like this. I'm going to layer it up again. Do this one. There we go. So now I got quite a few layers built up in there. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to start in on that wedging process that we saw before. Now nominally, I want to do this around 30 times, and that should get things constituted fairly well. So it was about 10, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 13, 16, 17, 18, 20. Now I'm going to do a few more. What I'm doing is I'm applying less forward pressure and mostly downward pressure. Basically, I want to turn this into a log. Now, sorry for all the camera jumping. It's kind of unavoidable what I'm doing. Back again so it doesn't bounce off the table. Now, when I slam this down, you're going to see it starts tapering to the edges. And again, as we compress the clay, some of it is being forced out to the edges. Tap, restore that back. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a fairly even log of clay here. That I can split it up into balls. Now, I didn't check to see how well this reconstituted or if, how the spiral is looking inside or the layers. So let's just cut a little slice off. Take a look at that. It's pretty well mixed. Still a little there, but it should even out in a moment. Well, sounds like I have a phone call. And of course, that wasn't a real call. That was a spam call. Yay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take roughly, now the ends taper in a little, so I'm going to take 3 to 4 fingers. I'm just going to rip this clay apart. And then I am going to turn it into roughly a fist size ball, a little bit smaller than my fist. So you're going to take about 3 fingers, rip, pat. I would guess, glancing at these are about 1.5, 2 pound balls. One of these balls should be more than enough to do your gargoyle. What you can do is you can take your wire, you can cut it in half, do the pinch pot like I demonstrated previously, join it back together, and then start in on your gargoyle grotesque sculpture. So, just to reiterate, a monster is any monstrous face, anything that might scare you or be sufficiently different as to be disturbing. A grotesque is a stone sculpture on an edge of a building, often left as a decoration, hidden decoration by masons. And a gargoyle is actually a functional piece of architecture that has been sculpted, which allows water to drain away from a building. Now, so generally speaking, we're going to be making grotesques and monsters. If you guys want to try your hand at making a gargoyle, you're going to have to make sure that there's a hole at the back of the head, and that opens out into a hole in the mouth, so that if you can imagine water flowing through it. So I got 7 times 4, 8 times 4 is 32 balls of clay prepped for you guys so far for next week. So I got to repeat this a couple more times. I hope you guys have a good week while I'm gone. Look forward to seeing your work when I get back. Take care.